got to go over to the House, because the reason why a lot of liberals don't want to talk about this, they don't want to really bring this to the front of the congregation, because we actually avoided a government shutdown. You don't say. So we actually passed a budget that allows for us to get savings to trim off, while at the same time, nobody is missing a paycheck. Nobody is getting furloughed. What? And it's funny because House Speaker Mike Johnson, he said, you know, it's unfortunate that the Democrats refuse. And when I say refuse, they absolutely positively will never get on board. They refuse to do the right thing. Not one of them actually sees value in doing the right thing for the American people, for voting for or having a conversation about what's best for the American people as far as a budget, so that people can get their paychecks, that the government don't shut down, that we get the savings that we need. But y'all want to stand on what exactly? You got a 21% approval rating. Well, don't worry about it. Anyways, a reporter had asked Mike Johnson before they actually passed the budget if they had the votes, and why would he hold Democrats accountable if he already had the votes. He said, we got the votes. It doesn't mean that two things can't be true at the same time. It doesn't mean that the AOCs and the Jasmine Crockett's and all of these people should not be voting to make sure that they do their job. So if they're not going to do their job, if they're not going to actually work with us to get a budget passed, especially considering with the American people, in which Trump won all of the swing states, and there's a mandate from the American people to do what's being done right now, why wouldn't they work with us? Instead, they continue to have their approval rating plummeting. So basically, they're just out here making TikToks and doing interviews instead of doing their job. They have no job to do whatsoever except for to hold town halls, I guess, and to have a good time. Anyways, this is the result of what happened during the budget. Make sure, again, that you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock it.
As we're following the latest with this continuing resolution that moved through the House 217 to 215, and we're hearing from different lawmakers there outside of the Capitol Hill. We're still awaiting potentially Mike Johnson to step, as you see plenty of lawmakers, reporters awaiting his presence. Let's take you, though, outside of this to a Republican from Kentucky. I think that is Thomas Massie, the lone Republican, I should say, to vote no. Let's listen into this live on Live Now from Fox.
When they wanted to do a CR in September 2024, wait till after the election. Then we were told, after the election, wait until we've got the Senate majority installed, and then we'll fight and we'll implement Trump's agenda. But there's no fight in them. It's basically Biden's agenda cut, copied, pasted into the discretionary budget.
Do you expect the same thing to happen again in September?
We should be doing 12 separate bills, right, and we should be doing those over the summer. I suspect there's going to be very little effort to do that, because what 12 separate bills gets you is only 1/12 of the government stops functioning if one of those 12 bills doesn't pass. This place loves to have the threat of a shutdown. They can get the Freedom Caucus to vote for Biden's agenda with the threat of a shutdown, which is what they did here today.
And what's your reaction to President Trump putting on Truth Social that your days are numbered?
You know, Trump, he spent the whole day attacking me and Canada. And the difference is Canada caved.
But do you think, are you worried about...
Did he just walk off like a sassy girlfriend? No, he didn't. No, he didn't just walk off like a sassy girlfriend after he got his thoughts off. No, you didn't. You son of a... I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. This dude just walked off like a sassy girlfriend.
All right.
Let me rewind that. Let me see something.
Social that your days are numbered.
You know, Trump, he spent the whole day attacking me and Canada. And the difference is Canada caved.
But do you think, are you worried?
Well, we're definitely going to get to Canada shortly. But no, you didn't. You turned around and flipped your hair and flipped your bangs. And you decided that you wanted to go against the establishment, that you wanted to sit here and complain and whine. You wanted to be the black sheep. You wanted to have a holdout. All right. We're going to remember that. I'm going to revisit this conversation a little later. Anyways, let's continue. We don't want to get distracted. We want to continue to stay on top of things. Let's not get distracted. Let's focus and let's get to it, okay? No, you didn't.
All right. Thomas Massey there. This is Andrew Kraft, and you've been listening there to the lone Republican who voted against House Speaker Mike Johnson's funding bill. Though the funding bill did pass, we do have Speaker Mike Johnson. He just stepped up to the podium. We do want to start it from the very beginning, and he's going to explain what happens next with all of this as this bill now goes to the Senate. Here's Speaker Mike Johnson.
The Republicans stood together, and we had one Democrat vote with us to do the right thing, and that is to fund the government. This was
shout out to that one Democrat that did the right thing.
A clean CR. It freezes funding. It's a responsible thing to do, and we're ensuring that troops continue to get their paychecks and TSA agents continue to do their work and be paid, and essential workers on the border and elsewhere are doing their jobs. It's shameful what happened on the Democrat side. They engaged in a misinformation campaign. They put out talking points about the bill on Friday before the bill was even filed, which was Saturday afternoon. They've been lying and misrepresenting.
Which is exactly what I have been seeing. I've been seeing Democrats running around, and it's a shame that you guys, it's a shame. It is a crying shame that you guys are falling for the okie doke. And that how can they speak on something that hadn't even been put out in the first place? They're telling you, oh man, they're going to defund Social Security. Oh my God, they're going to completely get rid of Medicaid in order to get these savings. They're going on MSNBC, Jasmine Crockett. They're jumping on TikTok, AOC. They're holding town halls, Bernie Sanders. And y'all are still falling for the okie doke, and you don't even have to lean into legacy media to find out the truth. You can literally go and find out for yourself. Everything is public information. All we do here on the Millionaire Morning Show is give our opinion on it and break down what we think based off of the information that's presented. We give our opinion depending on where it is that we stand on a specific issue at that time. It doesn't matter whether it's crime in the neighborhood or it's a budget that's being passed. How can they present you information? And that was what I was mulling all weekend. How can they present you from information if there was no proposal that was available for them to actually speak to? But they speaking the talking points. They was making TikToks. They did the Choose Your Fighter campaign. They did all of this nonsense. And we seen what was happening last week with Al Green and all of these people. Al Green couldn't wait to go on the Breakfast Club. I didn't even watch the interview because I said that this is a despicable legislator. This is a despicable congressman that wants to get famous, that wants some visibility, that's trying to hold on to a seat. He couldn't wait to go and do his Breakfast Club interview and to sit on there with Charlemagne and DJ Envy. Couldn't wait to get on there. Instead, he should have been doing his job, but he wanted to sit there on the Breakfast Club and have a good conversation and try to get his name up, get his reps in.
Representing the facts about what's in the bill, and the American people can read it for themselves. It's only 99 pages long. We did our job today, and it's shameful that they will stop at nothing. They will suggest that this bill is something that it's not, and they will run out the clock to shut down the government in a desperate attempt to stop the America First agenda. But I will tell you that President Trump and Republicans in Congress will stop at nothing to deliver on that agenda. We are going to continue to work hard. We will continue to stick together and get this job done, and it's an essential one. Now that the government funding bill has been passed out of the House, we send it to the Senate, and it falls on the desk of Chuck Schumer. He is the leader of the Democrats on that side, and he must determine whether he wants to fund the government, do the responsible thing, or whether he wants to shut the government down. And I certainly hope that there are enough Democrats in the Senate who have a conscience, who will do the right thing by the American people and take care of business over there. So, any questions? Anybody?
Are you expecting a shutdown?
I certainly hope not. I believe they'll do it. I believe the Republicans will stick together in the Senate as we have in the House. And I hope.
Which is why we needed to control all three branches of government to get anything done. If you want to keep your government open, if you want to make sure that we continue to make progress, if you want to see change, And when I say change, I'm not talking about the little things here and there, little details, little dots. We want to have men and women's bathrooms. No, I'm not talking about that kind of change. I'm talking about sweeping financial change. If you want to see things actually get done, this is what it takes. And this is why it was important for us to not just focus on who the president of the United States of America was, but for us to control all three branches of government. Because unlike Trump's first term, he can actually get things done faster, quicker, smoother, without a whole lot of problems and issues. And he's executing and being transparent and making himself available to the people. We've never seen an administration this transparent, but he couldn't get this done in his first term. It was impossible for him to actually do the things that the American people wanted him to do. And so he had to go and sidestep here and do an executive action there and then throw that. And as soon as they stole the election in 2020, they undid everything that he did at the border. They started giving you all of this inflation. Now we got to come in. They trying to blame Trump for not lowering prices within 40 days of him getting into office. We're going to get there, but we'll get there.
There are at least a number of Democrats in the Senate who will do the right thing. If not, this will be on their shoulders, and everybody in America knows that.
Mr. Speaker, on the other legislative undertaking, reconciliation, some senators yesterday suggested that they can get the ball rolling by sometime like August, which is far beyond your time.
August is far too late. No, we're going to move that ball a lot faster than that, and we'll be talking with our colleagues and friends, Republican leadership in the Senate about this. They will be working the rest of this week, and then I think both chambers are doing district work next week. When we get back, this will begin in earnest, and we'll have leaders and lieutenants, committee chairs of jurisdiction in both chambers working together to begin that process, to finish up the resolution and move forward with budget reconciliation. That's going to be a very important thing for the country.
A rescissions package, a lot of folks have spoken about that in part with this continuing resolution. What's the status of that?
We anticipate that we will get a rescissions package from the White House as soon as all the calculations are made. The reason we took this step now is to allow for that process to continue to play out. And the DOGE efforts and the other things that are happening in the administration are very important for the American people, because ultimately what we're going to be able to do is downsize the size and scope of the federal government, make it work more efficiently and effectively for the people, and identify these extraordinary areas of fraud, waste, and abuse and eliminate that. So a rescission request from the White House would come over appropriately in the right timing when they have the calculations done, and Congress will do its job there. We are going to deliver for the American people.
Thank you, guys.
We're not sure yet. They're working on the calculations, which is the reason we could not include it today. But we do anticipate that. We're going to work hand in hand with the White House, and I want to compliment President Trump on his ability to be so involved that he's watching this step by step. He is determined to deliver for the people, and we are as well. So this is a well-coordinated effort between the White House and our Senate Republican colleagues and House Republicans. And we'll continue to work in that partnership to get this agenda done. Thank you.
All right.
So shout out to our House Republicans, House Republicans forever, House Democrats never. Ain't that something Umar Johnson would say? Shout out to the House Republicans. Shout out to Trump for continuously working with Congress to get things done. And we now have a budget reconciliation, and we can keep the federal government funded. Hopefully the Senate does their job and they don't wait until the last minute to get things taken care of. And I think that this is a good thing. I think it's phenomenal to see that our government branches are actually doing their job, to working on behalf of the American people and not slow-footing it, not taking their time, not messing up over the money, not shutting things down, but we're actually being productive, and we're more productive than I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. Shout out to all of the House Republicans. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyways, let's continue on with the show. Again, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.